Yeah, I'm gonna start this video a little different. So maybe we play a little boogie woogie here. Guess we can call this the Woodturner's Boogie Woogie. Hey, button. So there's a little bit of my work right there. So let's do a little bit of that, and then we'll go outside and we'll see if we can't make that big old black lace do a little boogie woogie. All right. Let's go out there and see if we can't make that lace do a little boogie woogie now. Well, this is black gum, or some people call it Tupelo gum. A friend of mine just gave it to me, and he gave me several pieces. I'm not sure what I'm going to make of it, but I thought this I would cut this checking off here, and then cut that where that limb was off right there, and see if I couldn't get me something to make a bowl. The bark is real tight on here, except for this one section. So I'm going to we'll see what I can do about it. I don't know if I can. It is one heavy dude, I'll tell you that for a fact, Jack. That's what I'm thinking. I thought I'd run through the bandsawing pretty quick here. Everybody's seen bandsawing, you know, bandsawing is bandsawing, so we just watch this little quick clip at about 4x and then we'll move on. Okay, I decided to cut it this way. Let me see. Okay, there you got right here. Okay, piece right here, so I'm going to cut barely to this side and barely to that side of it. And hopefully I'll get some of this real pretty sort of pinkish looking stuff right here on that side. And a little shaky, I think I can handle it. Sometimes quiet is nice, isn't it? This can make you a one-handed dude if you ain't careful. Look at that, isn't that pretty? I saw a bowl at my club meeting the other day made out of this stuff, and it looked pretty dang nice. This would just make a real nice shallow one here. Sort of surprises you a little bit how much this feels pretty damp, but this has been a standing dead tree for a long time, according to my friend. So I thought I'd do a little checking here. 17.5 right there, and hold. 19.5. That's fairly wet. So I just thought I'd show you that. Okay, what I'm gonna do is find my best circle here using this thingamajigger. And let's see, we'll go 8. Turn it over. No, that's all right. 8. I had the label on this side. 8. 8. That fairly covers. And I'll put my little red dot right there. Turn it around this way on that red dot. Comes to 9, 10. So looks like I could probably get an 8-inch bowl out of this. Be a little tight. And to tell you the truth, I think I'm gonna go 8. You can always cut it down. So you put it right here on that red dot. Maybe. Butterfingers. Slick today. And you put a little something in there to hold it. That marks your center. Take the 8-inch line and just rotate it. It comes off the edge right there a little bit. That's cool. And off the edge a little there. So about a 7.5-inch bowl. That's what we're going to have here. All right. There you go. I'm going to go over there and whittle them corners off and be back in a minute. Well, as usual, I'm going to use a faceplate. I don't like worm screws. I've had some bad luck with them. It's probably my fault, but that's not the point. The point is I don't like them, so I ain't going to use them unless I absolutely have to. It's sort of like when I quit flying. I always flew with white knuckles. Well, that tells you don't need to be flying. So I quit that. So if I'm not 100% comfortable doing something, I don't do it. Nobody likes me better than me. And I want to hang around a few more years anyway. So I'm going to come over here and pretty close to center. I'm going to stab you a couple of strings in there. Get this on the lathe in a minute. It's time for me and Brandy to have our popcorn. So I'll be back after that's done. That's a everyday necessity. You'll be out up here looking for me in a minute. This is going to be a pretty shallow, flat bowl. It's got this big place right here, so it's got to come down to here at least. Now I think I'm going to make the bottom pretty flat and just bring the sides up like a cereal bowl or something. First thing we're going to do though is that we're going to clean off the tool rest, which last time I used it I was using something with CA glue, so it always gets a little splattered on it. So this is probably one of the most important things you can do is to, make sure that's clean. If it's not clean, your tool won't slide across there. So I use a block sander like I've showed you lots of times before. And I just make sure there's nothing that's going to hold up the progress. Well, as usual, I'm going to do the heavy lifting with the beaver. And I'm going to come in this way with it this time. Right here. Now, I can tell the exact center here. He's right about there. So I'm tighten that in. I'm gonna come in right here. That's gonna fix it where you guys can't see what I'm doing. All right, let me move this camera. All right, I think we gotta go. I got my tool selected, got my tool rest right, got it all slicked up. This is mounted on a faceplate, so with 1.5 inch screws. So I'm not going to need a tailstock. Have you guys ever noticed, for you guys that haven't watched this too much before, I don't have to have my collars tight anymore because I put this leather apron on my face shield and it just totally stops stuff from going in around my neck. Always stop it before you move your tool rest. Sometimes I don't, but when I'm working with something like this, it's got so much stuff flying and so forth, I try to make a habit of doing it. It's a good habit. You can't go wrong doing it that way. You might waste a little bit of time, but so what? That's all I got is time. When you notice it starts pulling like this a little bit, that's time to move your tool rest. Because all the pressure should be right here, and really none of it should be on your handle. We're getting closer. I'm telling you, it don't take long for that beaver to do its work. And cut so quick it keeps you busy moving the tool rest. All right. Let's just clean the bottom up now. And we'll come up the sides. I don't know if you ever knows about this tool. I guess I brag about it too much. But you can only cut so deep when you come in like this. And basically what that does, it eliminates catches, plus it leaves no tool marks. And you'll see what I'm talking about right now in a minute. Sorry, it took so long, but I couldn't pick up the ruler with these gloves on. It's in the bottom of the drawer, and I couldn't do it. What I'm going to do now is I want this slightly concave, and right now it's convex, so I'm going to take it down a little bit more, and then I'm going to do a few pull cuts with this to show you how it doesn't leave any tool marks. Let's try it again. I'll push going in to get my shape, and then I'll pull just like you're supposed to, you know, to doing an outside of a bowl. Outside of a bowl, out, out, inside of a bowl, in. Easy way to remember it. Perfect. I want you to notice that I start being fairly aggressive pulling out, and with each run I get lighter and lighter, and the final one will leave it so smooth it barely needs sanding. That includes ingrained and all. Okay, that is virtually ready to sand. Just that simple. Tear out, very, very little. All right, we're going to bring her up this way now. So, time to move this and this. I'm going to come in this kind of angle here, the way I can get it all the way around. I have a curved one, but this one will work pretty good. Anyway, we're good. See if I'm on the level here. Yep, pretty close. Sort of like horseshoes. Okay, I'm going to use the tip to get my shape, and then I'll do some pull cuts in this direction to get it smooth, and then we'll put a recess in it and flip it, and we'll start on the inside. Not sure if I want that in there or not. It sort of adds a little character to it, doesn't it? I got a flat spot here. I got to come down some more. But you see how quick that does that? I brag too much about this tool, I know. That's as far as I'm gonna go. I got a little bit of tool marks right in here, but I'm in a curve and I can't get a flat. But I believe they'll sand out. So next thing to do is put a recess on. Remember, you want to get this a little bit bigger than the jaws, because you want to get that about 1/8 gap in between where the jaws meet. So let's see, that's my daughter, I'd say. There you go. Nothing good. Alright. Now I'm going to get the square cutter. Cut that out. I'll need the square cutter and the skew. Square one right here. This one and the skew. I'll probably ought to put the shield back on for this. You just never know. Well, that's on too high. There we go. Pretty good. Okay. I need to touch up the back just a hair. Looking good. And I bet you when you turn it around, you're going to see a wobble. Never have understood that, but that's the way it does it. All right. We're going to turn it around now. Like to get stuck. Big old reach. Break it loose. Get this thing back out of the way. Somehow I feel like I should have sanded it, but I can sand it just as easy the other way. All except the very, very bottom, which is easy enough to do. Now we'll flip it over. I flipped it around. Now I'm going to take the faceplate off. This is the way I generally do it. I feel it's the safest way to do it and the easiest. Oh, come on. I can't do things like this in gloves. Just can't. Measured before I put the drill bit in. Gotta remember, you got this tip now. So it looks like not gonna go in very far. Shallow hole. Might not even need to drill a hole in this one, but I'm going to anyway. It's what I'm used to doing. Plus, it's a good test on your chuck. See if it's going to turn on you. Now I will put the tailstock up for this for the beginning of it. All right, I'll bring it up here. And there's the tail. Okay. We'll give it a whirl, see what happens. Lock this down. Nice and easy. Found that other little hole there, but it ain't gonna matter on this. There we are. Nothing to it. No step for a stepper. Damn. What's going on here? It's locked up on me. I guess if it went the other way, it'd work better, wouldn't it? I ain't gonna show this video. Duh. That'd be for somebody else to watch, not. No. Sometimes I wonder about myself. We're gonna come down here. Back a little bit, and down. Here we go. We'll use this, see what happens. This will be the first time to try it on the inside of the bowl. I don't like it hurt. If it don't work, I'll change to something else. about you guys, but I'm impressed. That was quick. Well, this bowl's gonna leak. Believe it or not, that's the first time I've ever done that. Well, if anybody thinks a little old hole like that's going to stop me, you'd be wrong. I will fix this and it'll be better than ever. Just keep watching. I knew I got that damn gouge too sharp. Yeah, I'm going to tell you how to salvage this bowl. And I took a piece of wood that I sawed off the other end. I took it to the planer, made me a thin enough piece, took it over to the laser, made me a plug to go in the back. And then I took the plug that turned out whenever I got it too thin, and I fitted it back into here. You can see it better. There you go. And you can see it better there with that light on it. So that's how I did that. I don't have any kind of sealer or anything on this yet. No sanding sealer, no nothing, and barely hand sanded it. So that's how well it came out. Not much sanding at all. So I'm ready to put a little sanding sealer on it and see where I go from there. And I get totally done with it, I'll take a few pictures and we'll wrap this up, but it don't leak no more. The other day, I was going to finish this bowl I just turned. I guess I named this Boogie Bowl. I don't know why. It's Tupelo gum or black gum. But anyway, I need some sealer. My sealer had sort of coagulated. So I went to Lowe's and to buy some more, and they didn't have any sealer, any oil-based sealer like I had been using. I can't remember the name. I threw the can away. And I went to Home Depot and they didn't have any. So I went ahead and bought this from Minwax, sanded sealer. Now it's water-based. I didn't notice that until I got home and was using it, opened it up, and it's sort of white looking. So I said, well, what the heck, This is more expensive than the other sealer too. I think this was like $14. So I put it on and, it seemed to do all right. You don't need to thin it or nothing. It's relatively thin. And an hour later it's dry, so I sort of sanded it down a little bit, a little fine paper, and I put it and did it. I did it 3 times, in other words, and it turned, here's the way it looks now. And it is really nice and smooth. So I decided that I was going to finish this bowl in True Oil. Now True Oil, here it is right here, it's from Casey. It's a gun stock finish. Now, years ago in one of my other long ago hobbies, I used to finish gun stocks and stuff like that. You know how you've seen, remember it first came about, you had the Browning German rifles and they were just so smooth and stuff. No, this is what they used to do it. And I've done a couple bowls with it. And it really works. The only drawback is you got to put a coat on and it's got to sit overnight. Then you got to steel wool that one off and you got to put another. It takes about 3, maybe 4 coats, which equates to 3 or 4 days. But I'm not in any hurry, so what the heck, if I can get it open. So anyway, it takes very, very little of this stuff. So basically, and you finish it with your fingers. So I'm going to put just a little on the bottom of this bowl. Here you go. And you see there? That's all it is. And you take your fingers and you do it like this. And I'd probably even put too much. But this is some amazing stuff. So I got way too much, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it on the outside. Now just get this like this and work on the outside. This makes a wonderful, wonderful finish. Well, I'm going to have my fingers in it, but that's okay. I don't know if you can see how nice that's looking now, but it is nice. I'm going to do everything but the lip here because I'm going to set it down on it. I can do it separate. And what you have to do when you get this done, you take a little polishing compound. I happen to have some from my other days. And you polish it just like you would, polishing paint on a car. But, you do it by hand. So you see, there you go. And it comes out with a gloss finish. Extremely durable. So I guess the time I do this will have to be a keep me bowl. So we got too much in there. Give me a paper towel and wipe some of it out. All right, I wiped a little bit of it out. You just, you just can't put too much of this. And it flows out real good. It starts to get a little bit sticky, so you just I got a piece of wax paper there just in case. I set it down. I'm done till tomorrow. And I'll come back with some double aught or aught steel wool, give it a quick go over. And another thing that you need to remember, if you don't have any, you need to buy you some of these. These are tack rags. They pick up the dust. So you need to do that before each coat. If you use steel wool, you have to take air or something, blow it out because it'll get down into the writing or crevices. So that's the way you do it, my friends. So I'm going to get on with editing the rest of this video. In a couple of days, I'll have this one done and then we'll wrap it. Here it is. It's only got 1 coat of True Oil on it though. There's a couple little dull spots in the bottom which tells you that it soaked up the first. I wanted to wrap this video, that's the reason I'm showing it to you now, but there it is. Got lots of figure in it. It's very, very smooth. Got an extremely nice finish on it. There you go. All right, well, as usual, thank you very much, and please subscribe and like and all that kind of stuff. So I guess we'll catch you on the rebound. Oh, almost forgot. In case you ain't figured it out, I can't play the piano.